All right, good morning, everyone. This is Zeph Dumlau from Miva Merchant. It looks like we could probably start. We sent out lesson 3 course material via email, so you should all have that in your inbox. I'll go over some of the topics here, but not all of it. I think I'll pick on some key points and then I'll go through those questions. Well, I should be able to answer questions ranging from lesson 1, 2, and 3, since this is technically a wrap-up webinar. So without any further holdups, let's begin. If you have any questions, just type it into your screen and then we'll get around to answering them. The first thing I'd like to cover today is I want to go over new orders. I got some extra questions about how to process orders over the phone, or if you're at a trade show, or if you have someone over for dinner and you want to they pull out a credit card and you want to process their order right then and there. I covered this on week 1, but just in case some of you missed it, I'll go over it as fast as I can. You have the ability to create new orders inside your admin. You do that in the View Orders screen. View Orders shortcut is right here, and you can click on, right here, and you could also click into Manage Orders by expanding your store's menu on the left, and it should be right here near the bottom of the list. So either way, just click on that and it'll take you to the Manage Orders screen. On the upper right corner, there's a button called New Orders. Just click on that. It'll pull up a New Orders form, which you can fill out with the customer information, the order information, the products that they're ordering, and their billing information, the credit card info that you need to process the order. To fill out the customer's information, just click on either one of these links here. Ship to or bill to. I'm going to click on ship to. And if the customer is already in your database, you could type in the first few letters of their customer account, and the system will try to predict which customer this is for. So if you hit enter, it pre-populates this whole form with their information. If you bubble this in, update both accounts or addresses, it will add the information to both the ship to and bill to info. Then you could proceed to adding items to the order. Again, you could do partial searches on this screen. So I think I will have them buy this generic 10-pound product. I'm going to have them say they want to buy a quantity of 3 10-pound products. I'm going to click Add Plus. That allows me to add that product to the order and continue adding more products. I'm going to click Add Plus again. You could actually add products that don't even exist in your store if you know you can offer the product or deliver on this product. Even though you don't have it in stock in your online store, you can make up a product. It could be any code and any name as long as the code is not already in use by an existing product in your store. So I'm going to say green widget, and they want to buy 4 green widgets. Say a green widget weighs 1 pound and they all cost $5. So I'm going to click add. The other option worth pointing out on this screen here is the ability to add extra charges or discounts by clicking down here. Edit shipping, tax, other charges. Let's say they're a really good friend. And being a really good friend is worth $300 discounts. When you're defining a discount, be sure to define it as a negative value. If you define it as a positive value, it's going to tack on that that sum as a fee rather than a discount. So I'm going to click Add Charge, and you could also do the reverse. You could put a Acquire Widget Fee, and that's an extra $20 because they're kind of hard to get. So you add that charge and save. When you add these charges, they appear on the bottom right here, and they reflect the overall total on the very bottom there. On this screen, notice that there's a section here for authorized, capture, refunded, net capture. They're all zeros. If you have a credit card payment processor, like a real-time credit card payment processor like Chase Payment Tech set up in your store, you could actually initiate the capture of those funds right here on this screen. To do that, you would click Authorize, and it defaults to the total value of the order. You can overwrite it here if you need to, but it will default to the total that's displayed on the bottom of the screen. This drop down allows you to select what kind of card they'll be using, and then you just punch in the credit card information. Depending on how your store is configured, it may collect the funds right away or it may not. You want to be conscious on how it's configured, because if you observe here, it says it's been authorized to capture $870 from that credit card. But look at the actual amount that has been captured. It's still $0. That means I've not received any money, and I won't receive any money from this customer unless I take some further actions. Let me unlock this. This padlock pertains to the fact that I have order encryption set up. So let me unlock this really quick. So now that I have it unlocked, I could actually see the card information. There's a button down here called Capture that when I press it, it initiates, or it lets the card processor know that yes, I want to collect this funds now. And the screen updates, and this is my confirmation that money has exchanged hands or is in the process of exchanging hands. I can feel confident that I'm getting my money, and so I can ship this order. And that's a quick walkthrough on how to create new orders from inside the store admin. And that's really good when you're on the road or if you're taking an order over the phone. Let's talk about the workflow of managing orders when kind of the process I like to take when an order comes in and how I can see it through to shipping. Usually you would get an email notifying you that an order has been placed, or maybe you log in once a day or once every other day into your store. But as soon as I get notified, I'll log in my admin and click on View Orders. And here's a list of all of my orders. Now, there's some handy things that you can do here to kind of help make more sense out of all of this information, especially when you start racking up the number of orders you've got in your store. The first thing you can do is sort by status. If you click on this column here, I can see what orders have been partially shipped, which means orders that have multiple items, but I've only been able to ship one or some of the items, but not all. I can see these orders have already been shipped, so I don't really have to pay attention to them. These orders are still processing, which means I've flagged them to be shipped, but I haven't shipped them yet. And lastly, there's pending. These are orders that have come into my store, but I've taken no action whatsoever yet. They're probably the orders that I really need to be mindful of. You could also filter your orders based on their status right here. So these are orders that are still pending. These are just example orders I created. I didn't even take the time to fill out the customer information. But let's pretend that they're there. I can select them all. And the good thing about having this filter turned on is I'm only looking at orders that are pending. I can just select all of these, and when I click on create shipment, I'm flagging them to be shipped. Okay, so these actually have no products in there, and they were just throwing me off. I'm going to remove them really quick. They can't be marked for shipping because they actually have no products in them. So I marked the other orders that were pending to be shipped. They disappeared off of my screen. So that's like a really convenient way to keep track of how much work I still have left to do. Because as I get through this work list, it becomes shorter and shorter until I don't have any more orders in that list. So that I prefer using the filter. Once I get through that pending list, I can move on to manage shipments and start processing my shipments. But before I do that, I want to show you one last thing in manage orders, and it's a batch report. You can generate, you could create a batch if you want to organize specific orders, like let's say a specific set of orders pertain to like a Valentine's Day sale, and you want to group them all together. You just check mark the ones that matter, and you could create a batch and name it Valentine's Day sale. You don't actually have to create a batch to run a batch report. You can just select more than one order, and it allows you to create a batch report. The batch report that is already coded into your software by default from the manage order screen is the printable invoice batch report. If I select that and run it, I don't know if you've tried this yet, but these are all printable. This is every order I checkmarked, and every order, when I print this out, gets printed on its own page. I can take this and supply it in my boxes when I go to ship out products, and it's just a nice packing slip for supplying so that the customers can have a record of this purchase. So once I'm done with all the work I want to do in manage orders, I can go into manage shipments, and you can also filter for just shipments that are flagged to be shipped but haven't been shipped yet. That's known as picking, because you're still picking the merchandise from off your store shelves or your inventory shelves. So these are all the orders. First off, these are all the shipments I've ever worked on in my store, and I'm just going to filter for just shipments that still need my attention. So I'm going to select picking and hit search. I can, if I have an employee who all they do is fulfill the orders, I can give them access to maybe just the manage shipment screen. And a really useful tool for them would be the pick list, which is another version of a batch report. They can just select multiple orders here. If you select this top checkbox, it selects every order on the screen. And I can choose to run another batch report. I'm going to click on batch reports, select the pick list or the shipment pick list. When I run the report, it's similar to the printable invoice, but it has less information. And it's mostly tailored to people who are just pulling products off of store shelves. Again, every order gets printed out in its own page. So people who are fulfilling and packing boxes may find this batch report useful. As I work through this list, if you have a real-time shipping calculator set up in your store, you can click on Generate Shipping Label here. I'm going to uncheck all of these. I'm going to pick the top one on the list and click on Generate Shipping Label. This pop-up window allows me to do a few things. So I can choose which service I'm going to be shipping this through. I'm going to say UPS Standard. And notice this order has 8 products. It might be that I don't want to ship my green widgets with my 10-pound products. And what I can do is I can define how I want these sorted. There's an action drop-down box where I can tell it to move to a new package. That creates a second box. And this green widget is now in box 2, and these products are still in box 1. I could continue the process. I could create another box, or I could move it to box 2, which I'm going to do. I'm going to move all of my green widgets to box 2. And if you need to use any of these features here, you can instruct UPS or whatnot to require, say, a signature when they deliver the product. But here I am. I have 2 boxes, and they're ready to go. I decided to pick standard shipping. When I generate this, up here it says I selected marked shipment as shipped. So as soon as I click this button, this order will change from picking to shipped. And for me to actually fulfill this part of this tutorial, I would have to have, I'd need an actual UPS account. And that's why this error came out. UPS actually doesn't like it if you generate a real shipping label for false reasons. So I had to turn off my UPS account, but let's just pretend that went through. When that goes through, that order would have disappeared from this list because, again, I'm filtering for just picking status orders, and it will have changed from picking to shipped. Here are my orders that are marked as shipped. And as soon as I clicked generate, it would have generated a shipping label, and it would have generated a tracking number. If you click here, here's one that I had processed at an earlier date. I can click on View Print Shipping Label. I print this out, and that's what I will use when I ship out that product. If I back out, here's a tracking number. That gets emailed automatically to the customer so that they can keep tabs as the shipment gets closer to them. They can click on it in their email. It takes them straight to the shipping carrier's website, and it pre-populates their search field with that tracking number. So that's a pretty handy feature inside of Miva Merchant. Once you get to this stage, that's the completion of your workflow from receiving an order to processing it for shipping to generating shipping labels and a tracking number to shipping it out. I'm going to take a brief moment here to check to see if anyone has questions really quick. Gail asks, where does the shipping charge show up? Now, I'm not sure if you meant the added charges that you can include. If you were talking about the actual shipping charges, they appear when you generate that last step that I just showed you, when you generate the shipping label, because that's where you confirm or select which shipping method you're going to be using when you send that product out for delivery. Jim Rowland asks if it links directly into authorized.net. I believe it does. As far as I'm aware, it does, although I don't have an authorized.net account myself. So I can't double check just right now. I could consult my colleagues to confirm, but it should. Debbie Reese asks, what causes the status to change from pending to processing? Okay, so as soon as the order exists in your store, it's set to pending. As soon as you mark it for shipment, and what I mean by that is back in manage orders, let me create a new order really quick. Okay, so this order is a brand new order. It now exists. It's set to pending. The way it changes from pending to processing is when I select it here and mark it to be shipped. So I check mark this order and click on create shipment. It is now set to processing when it refreshes. This is the order right here, and it's now processing. Once I generate that shipping label or click on generate and then bubble in mark as shipped, it's going to change from processing to shipped. I want to touch on something here. Down here on the bottom, there's a box with a number on it. I believe by default it's set to 10, which means it will only show you 10 items in a list at a time, and there's a next button so that you could page through all of the results. Now, that might help keep things looking neat, but if you need to work through a few hundred or maybe 1,000 orders, that could be less than ideal. So you can punch in a number here to change it, but that's not permanent. That's just for this instance of the screen right now. You can make it permanent if you want. And to do that, you click into the plus sign of global settings. You have to go to users and click into the user you log in as. Go into the preferences tab and change it here. I like to set it to 1,000. So unless you have 1,000 items in any list, then it will always show every item in that list to you. I like that behavior better than showing only 10. It helps me get through things faster. So that's a little tidbit that I recommend you do if you think that's a good idea. Topher asks, is this being recorded and can they watch it later? Yes, it is being recorded, and I'll be sending it out probably tomorrow because it takes a little bit of time to edit it down to exclude all the extra spaces that I'm sure you don't want to sit through a second time. Julia asks if there's any way to add the total to the pick list, the total weight to the shipment pick list. Well, here's the thing. The shipment pick list is just a batch report that comes with the store. You can actually create your own batch reports if you want, and you can include the total weight value. That might take a little that's actually outside the scope of this lesson. I know that it's possible. In fact, I know that people have used our professional services to generate pretty interesting batch reports for them. Our team is able to take requests, so to speak. Brandon asks on shipping packages. How do you mark orders as shipped if you're actually shipping through your order management system? I'm not sure what exactly you're asking. On the shipping packages, how do you mark orders as shipped if you're shipping through your order management shipping system? I'm guessing your means our Miva Merchants order management system. To mark it as shipped, and let me know if this answers your question. Here's an order 1085 that's marked as picking. If you click on generate shipping label, there's an option here for mark shipment as shipped, that when I select the shipping method and generate, it will result in marking that order as being shipped, and it won't be in the picking state anymore. It will be shipped. Also, if you go into the order, you can do it in here. You can also select the line item product and enter a tracking number. Let's say you want to manually enter it because you did it on the UPS website or something. You select UPS, enter the tracking number, hit shipped, and save. And this order will now be marked as shipped. What if a drop shipper creates the shipping label? How do we add the tracking number so the customer can click on it? I unwittingly just answered that, by the way. To review, from the manage shipment screen. So that means you have to mark the order for shipment and then access that order in the manage shipment screen. You go in here, select the order, and then you can check mark whatever products that have been shipped, click enter tracking number. Punch it in here, select the carrier of choice, and hit save. And that will email the customer that link, which is clickable, takes them to the UPS website, populates the tracking number, or takes them to the FedEx website, populates the tracking number. How do you process returns and credits for returned items? So someone calls you up and they say they have a faulty product, or it's just not what they wanted, and they want to initiate a return. You go into your manage orders screen. You can pull up their order. Now, if you have a lot of orders and you need to sift through them, one way of doing that is to sift by date range, or if they have their order number, or they can give you their email address. And that should help narrow down that list to a more manageable size. Once the orders pop up, here's the order they want to return. Obviously, it's marked as shipped because they received it. I'm going to click into the order, check mark any one of the products or all of the products that they want to return. And then you just generate a return by clicking this Create Return button. A few things happen when you do that. First, the system automatically sends out an email to the customer with the RMA number. Here's the RMA number right here. And It also updates the status of this order from shipped to RMA issued. Here it is. So that's all you have to do until you receive the order. And once you receive the order, you go back in here, select the product in question, and you can manage the return. Once it's been received, you just check mark it and hit saved, and it updates the system. There it goes, and the status is updated to returned. Now, you can't actually refund the customer from here in the admin. You'll probably have to log into your payment card processor's online interface or whatnot. Maybe have to call them. But if you have a gateway that you can log into, all gateways have return features for refunding a customer. If all of my orders are currently listed as pending, how should I move forward? That's easy. Okay, sorry, I'll finish the question. If all of my orders are currently marked as pending, how should I move forward with cleaning up past orders so that we can start using this workflow? I just realized you can't, there's no bulk way to mark them as shipped. Can I ask you, Sharon, are these orders so old that does it work better in your system to hold on to those orders right now? Or is it outside the possibility for you to just delete them so that you have a clean slate? Sharon, let's say that you don't need to have these orders in your store. There is a bulk delete hidden in the software. If you go down here, it's not under manage orders. It's down here under utilities, and you have to click the plus sign. And you'll see legacy order processing. Once you're in legacy order processing, you can click the check plus. It'll select every order, or you can just bulk check the orders that pertain. And anything that's checked, you can hit update. And if you look at this checkbox column, it's labeled remove. So anything that's checkmarked and you hit update will be removed from your store. And that might be a process, a method in which you can get to a clean slate where you can begin to start using this type of workflow. Jim asks, if you're linked directly to your credit card processor, can our customer service rep add additional charges or issue refunds without logging into Authonet? They normally don't have access to the credit card info to do this themselves, so it would be great help if we are linked that closely with the processor. You can add fees and discounts, but you can't issue refunds. Leanne McGregor asks, how do you assign an order to an existing customer if they did not log in? I don't know if this answers your question, but in the manage orders screen, when you click on ship to, under the customer lookup, you just type in their account until you find it, and then you select it, and it will assign all of the customer information to that order. Kathy asks that she missed some classes, but if you go to generate shipment, but your UPS is not there, how do you add it? I recommend going to, I think it was lesson 1. When you go into lesson 1, there's a section for UPS, and you want to scroll down. Here it is. click on this link. It's an article about configuring UPS Ready Tools. Tim explains that they use PayPal, checks and flat rate. I have shipped out 3 orders using PayPal shipping labels. 1 order is still in processing status, and the other 2 are pending. How should I proceed? All orders money are marked captured. You can just go into this is a little bit easier for you because you only have 3 orders in question. When you go to manage shipment or even manage orders, you just click into the orders and select all your shipping or all of your products that you shipped, and you can go into here and manually select shipped and save, and that will mark that order as shipped. Okay, give me a moment here. We're kind of running out of some time, so I want to skim through the remaining questions. Oh, okay. Natalie says, I thought you could refund the credit card used. When viewing an order, and you unlock their credit card info, don't you have the option to perform a refund? Our business is linked with Authnet, and I believe this is an option. And I believe that you're correct, and I was wrong. Because when you go into manage orders and pull up an order, I could unlock the order credit card information, and this is not linked to a live credit card processor, but I believe this button actually exists and becomes ungrayed, becomes selectable. So yes, you can actually reverse a credit card capture and refund your customer from the admin. Amy points out, when you change all the orders, won't the customer get a change notice email? And yes, that's correct, but you can disable that for when you're making large changes to get current. You can go into order fulfillment and your template-based order emails. Now, remember, this is where you go to configure how and when to auto send these emails. So you can actually go into your shipment shipped email, and right here you can see it's configured to automatically send when an order gets marked as shipped. If I remove this and hit save, I can make the changes that I need without having to bug my existing customers with a slew of emails saying that their package was shipped, even though I had shipped it 4 months ago. I make all the changes I need to make. I could come back in here and turn this back on and hit save. And that should address that issue. Hey Sharon, can you, by the way, you're the one who has the issue with all of your orders marked as pending, and you want to get them marked as shipped so that you can start using this workflow. Can you shoot me an email so I can remember you and get back to you on that? I might be able to help you out. Christy, looks like you're in the same boat as Sharon. Please shoot me an email as well. Okay, really quickly, Sharon asks me to cover archive button under manage orders. Basically, if you go into manage orders, if you noticed, my store admin did store the credit card information. It is locked down using order encryption, but it still exists in my database somewhere. So basically, archive means you're storing the details of this order, but you're purging the credit card information. So when I select all of these orders here and click archive, I still have the orders in my system, but when I go back in, to this order, I'm no longer able to unlock and view the credit card information because it's gone. Tim asks if you should delete them or archive them. If you want to delete them, go for it. But if you don't delete them, you have other options. For instance, reporting, which is covered in today's lesson. If you want to run reports, you can't run reports on orders you've deleted. So there is a benefit to keeping your order information in your store. And Teresa, shoot me an email as well, and I'll try to help you out. You're in the same boat as Sharon and Natalie. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. It looks like we got through just about every question, and we're at the 1 hour mark. I hope you have enjoyed your time with our store owners course. It's the first time we've ever held it. Please shoot me an email if you have any questions or any comments about your experience with this course. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to try to make it better every time we hold it. Thank you, everyone, for participating. The Lesson 3 material is out now. It's in your emails. Please go through that final lesson. There's some information there that I want to relate to you. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.